Hello, it's Dawn from Crafting on the Green, and this is card number 4 from the Quite Curvy virtual craft box. This card is a great way to use some of the DSP. I've chosen to use Crumb Cake again, and you can use any colour. You can make it Christmassy, not Christmassy. It's lovely. So what you'll get in your kit is obviously you'll get your DSP and you'll get the white card base. So first of all, we want to cut these curves. So choose your DSP. I'm going to use this one this time, and we want to take your die cutter, pop this on here, and then we want to use the die that's curvy and dotty. So actually, the first thing we want to do is to cut the DSP to size. That might help more. So the width that we want it to be is going to be 4 inches. So we'll chop that first. So now we want to do our die cutting. Put it back in. So we'll pop your DSP on here, and then using the curve, you want to decide how you want your curve to be, really. So I want mine to be about there. So I want it to be on a big curve. Yeah, about that. And then what you want to try and do is with each one, you want to make sure it has the same curve to it each time. No. See, that's knocked itself. I should have done that a tiny bit further over. Right. Try that one again. That's better. Okay. So there we go. So we have our first curve. So you want to try and keep it so that the curve is the same all the way through. Curve number 2. If you want to be exact, you can measure it, but to be honest, I don't think it needs to be measured. If it is slightly off, it always adds something anyway. So there's my 3. You've got another piece here that you can use on another project. That's my 3 cut out. Line the dots off of there. Right. So that's to start with. Now we've got 3 pieces which still have some dots in, so we need to get rid of those. So I'm going to use my roller and my foam pad for this. And any stubborn ones can just be poked out. There we go. got any stubborn ones? Yeah, that's what the pencil's for. I'd rather get most of them out using the brush and then poke the rest, because you don't want to be too harsh in case you end up ripping the page. So here we go. Get rid of some of these little dots. Right, so now that you've got your 3, if you prefer you could have more, you could make them thinner, you could make them fatter, but I quite like just going past the halfway line. So we'll take our Whisper White card background and quite like the stripes as well, but I'm going to glue those down. So first of all, excuse me, we want to just add some Tombow, and then decide where you want that to go. Just realised on the last card I made it slightly smaller than 4 inches so that it was more central, but it's still fine. Oh. This glue's being a bit stubborn today. So again, you can use any DSP with this one, even some out of, you know, a completely different pack if you choose. But obviously today I am using things from the pack. So now we've got our background, and we want to add, a bird. I've got my little stack of them here, so I'll use this little guy, and I've got 2 little leaves, so we want them for later. Then I've got the Made with Love Just For You again, and a little piece of Whisper White, which I will cut to size. So I'm going to use Memento. Mind the cat hair that's got stuck in there. And we'll pop that there. Right, and then what I'm going to do is chop it to size. Right. So now I've got my greeting, but I want to mount that on crumb cake. I would say if you're going to use the cherry cobbler or the shaded spruce, then just match the background around the wording to match that. So what piece here, is that going to be big enough? Yes. So again, you can measure it all out, but I find it a lot easier just cutting around and eyeballing what I've got. It saves a bit of faff really, although I suppose if you have multiple to do, it'd be worth measuring, just so you can cut lots of pieces out the same size. Right, so I'm going to stick that on there. And again, we'll just chop round it to give it a nice background. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to stick that on the card on dimensionals and then add the bird and the leaves to it. So dimensionals. So you can choose where to place it, top, bottom, middle. I quite like it more to the middle, more to the bottom. And now we want to add in our birds. So I've just done this with Tombow. Now I've lost a leaf. Where did that go? Huh. Oh, there it is. These little leaves do like to escape, so you've got to keep an eye on them. I'm going to use my tweezers as well because it does make it just a bit easier to place them. So, spot of Tombow. And then I'm going to aim more for the feet for the bird, because he's going to be hanging off the edge a bit, so I don't want to cover him with glue, otherwise he will just be gluey. So place our leaves on here and give those just a moment to dry. No, that one doesn't want to stay. Maybe there. Okay. And then I'm going to pop the bird in the middle of it and just hold it down for a second so he sticks. Turn him a bit. And there we go. There's another card. So you'll see the difference with the length that I cut the width of the DSP2. So that was 4 inches, and this one is 3 13/16. Yeah, that'll be 3 13/16. So it'll create a slightly bigger border. But that's up to you. You can have a play to your heart's content. So yeah, that was card number 4. I will see you shortly for the project.